Hi all, in this lecture I'll tell you how to work with CSV data in Spark SQL. Let's talk about the objectives now. In this lecture we will understand what is CSV file format. First of all, we will be reading a CSV data without header and we will be providing the column names using Spark SQL API. Then we will be reading CSV data with header. After that, we will apply infer schema to the data. We will be inferring the schema from the data itself. Then we will provide explicit schema to the data. Finally, we will be writing the CSV data to HDFS and we will also learn how to apply data compression. So, what is CSV? A comma separated values file is a delimited text file that uses a comma to separate the values. Each line of the file is a data record. Each record consists of one or more fields separated by commas. So from our practice data sets, we have categories data in CSV. The schema of categories data is we have three columns. We have category ID, we have category department ID, and we have category name. The data looks like this. So if you see this data, every row is a new record. That means every row is a new category and the three fields of the data of a row is separated by a comma. Now, how to read a CSV file? We will be using Spark session object which is available in Spark shell with the name Spark. After that, we will be saying spark.read.format.load, wherein format is used to specify the file format and .load is used to specify the file path. We can also read the data by saying spark.read.csv and then providing the file path. For providing the column names, we can say spark.read.format.load.2df. So this 2df method can be used to specify the column names. We can also provide the column names using the different way, that is spark.read.csv.df and then providing the column names. So guys, let's go to the lab and see. So we have already created a Spark cluster. You can see virtual machine instances tab here. Click the tab. On the right side you can see SSH console, an option to open SSH console. So just open to console here. I have already opened the console on my machine. So this is my first console. On this console I'll be starting Spark shell. So the command to start Spark shell is very simple. Spark-shell. This is the command to start the Spark shell. When we start Spark shell, Spark context and Spark session is automatically created for us. In the second shell, in the second SSH console, we will see the data set that we uploaded in the previous lectures. So for that we can use HDFS command. HDFS dfs-ls providing the path, that is /user/spark/dataset. Inside dataset we created a directory retail db. This is the location where we uploaded all the data. So this is our practice data set. Here we can see lot many information, but I'm only interested in the path itself. So what I'll do is, in the same command I'll be using a pipe operator, then awk, and then I'll be saying just print the file path. So it's at 8th location, so I'll be saying $8. Okay. So guys, now it's in readable format. So these are the directories that we uploaded to HDFS using HDFS dfs-put command in the previous lecture. Okay, now this categories data is CSV data. So we will be reading this data using Spark Shell. Let's go back to Spark Shell now. This is my Spark Shell. Okay, as I told you earlier that when we start Spark Shell, Spark context and Spark session is automatically created for us, and these are the two objects. So this object Spark is of type Spark session. Okay, let me clear the screen first. To clear the screen, you can press Ctrl and L key together. Let me go back to HDFS console and copy the categories path here. Now let's read CSV data without header. So, well, category df category data frame is equal to spark dot read dot format. So we have to specify the format as CSV dot load. Inside load we have to provide the path. So this is my complete path that I have already copied. This will return a data frame, category data frame. Now to see the content of the data frame, you can say cat df dot show. By default, show will return top 20 records, but I'm interested in top 5 records only, so I'll provide a parameter 5 here. These are the top 5 records. So we are able to read CSV data using Spark SQL. If you see here, the column names are underscore C0, underscore C1, underscore C2. Now I'll tell you how to provide the meaningful column names here. Before that, we can read the data we can also read the data in a different way, saying well cat df is equal to spark.read.csv. We don't have to specify dot format dot load. We can simply say spark.read.csv, providing the path here. I'm going to copy the path and providing the path here. This will also return the data frame. So we can say cat df.show, give me 5 records. It will give top 5 records. So these are the two different ways of reading CSV data in Spark. So I'll be using the second way of reading the data, that is spark.read.csv. Now let's see how to provide the column names. So I'll suggest you to copy this command and paste it in text editor while giving certification. That will really help you. So I'll be copying this command and I'll be pasting it in a text editor, so that I can just change different options here, copy the command and paste it in the shell and execute. This will save a lot of time. Okay, so when we say we have to provide the column names, what we can do is, in the older command itself, I can say dot to df, and inside 2df we can provide the column names. For example, the first column is category ID. The second column is category department ID. Category department ID. And the third column is category name. Okay. Now let's do a show on cat df. So we are able to provide the column names now. Column names look logical now. Category ID, category department ID and category name. So this is how we can provide the column names. We can also select specific columns while doing a show. So we can say, let's say if you are only interested in category ID and category name, so we can say cat df dot select, and inside select we can pass, okay, just show me category ID and category name. I'm not interested in category department ID. Category name and dot show, give me the top 5 records. So this time this data frame will only show you two columns, category ID and category name. So guys, now let's understand how to read CSV file which already contains a header. Let me clear the screen first of all. So we will be copying the dataset path which contains a header. Now we have categories -header dataset. In this dataset, in this CSV dataset, we have a header it also. So let's go back to the Spark shell. Let's try to read it in the similar way. Well, cat df is equal to spark.read.csv and just providing the path with no additional configuration. Okay, data frame has been returned. Let's see how the data looks like. So show me 5 records. Okay, have you noticed something here? The column names are still _C0, _C1 and so on. So what Spark has done, it has considered the header as a data itself. So we have to tell Spark that the first row in the data is a header. So ignore it. Don't consider the first row as a part of data itself. So for doing that, what we have to do is we have to provide an option. So well, cat df is equal to spark.read.option, and inside option we have to provide that in this data we have header, so we have to provide header true, and then simply provide the path. I have already copied the path. Okay, this has returned cat df. Now doing cat df dot show and just give me 5 records, top 5 records. Let's see. This time Spark has considered the first row as a header itself, and we can see that. So this is the way to read a CSV file which contains a header. Okay. Now how to infer the schema? We can also infer the schema. So when this property is set to true, Spark automatically infers the column type based on the data. So we can again provide a new option, infer schema true. So what we can do is, let me copy this command. We will be changing the command in the text editor and then we will be just pasting it in the Spark shell. So we have dot option header true, and for infer schema we have infer schema true. Okay, dot CSV and then dot CSV. So just copy this command and go back to the shell and paste it. Okay, now we can say, if you want to see the schema now, what you can say is cat df dot print schema. It will print schema of the data frame. So we can clearly see here that the first column is of type integer, the second column category department ID is again of type integer, and the final column is of type string. So this is how we can infer the schema, and when this property is set to true, Spark automatically infers the column types based on the actual data. Now let's understand how to provide explicit schema. So there may be some scenarios wherein you have to provide explicit schema. For example, you want to change these column names and you want to provide schema. In that case, we can use struct type and struct field for the same. Okay, so let's see that. So first of all, I'm going to import class here, import org.apache.spark.sql.types. Import everything from here. Or I should rather say import everything in the SQL package. Okay. So let's provide explicit schema. How to do that? Well, my schema, simply a variable, is equal to struct type. So struct type, we have to provide a collection here. So I'll be passing an array here, and inside this collection I have to provide an object of type struct field, one struct field for each of the columns. So we have 3 columns in our data. We will be providing 3 struct fields. Let's see that. First one, struct field. The first parameter is the field name. Let's say category ID. So I'm changing the name to cat ID. The second thing is the type. So integer type. And finally, can it be null, true or false? So you can provide either true or false based on the requirement. Now the second field. The second field is again an integer field. Struct field, the field name. Category, department, ID. What is the type? Integer type. And again passing true. Finally, we have category name. So we will be creating a struct field for that as well. So this is cat underscore name, and this is string type, and then can it be null? I'm passing the label is equal to true. This is my array and this is my schema, struct type. So guys, we have created a struct type to provide explicit schema to the data. Now let's read the CSV again, but this time passing this schema. So well, category df is equal to spark dot read dot option, because we have header in the data. So I'm gonna say header true, then dot schema, and I'll be passing the schema that I have created above, dot schema. After that, dot CSV. Inside dot CSV we have to provide the path. So the path is user Spark dataset retail DB categories header. Now we got a data frame cat df. Now let's do cat df dot show and give me just 5 records, top 5 records. Let's see. So if you see the column names, they are cat ID, cat dep ID and cat name, because we provided these column names in the struct type and struct field. We can also check the schema. Cat df dot print schema. Okay, so we can see the column name as cat underscore ID, type integer, nullable is equal to true. Similarly, cat underscore dep underscore ID and cat underscore name. So this is the way to provide explicit schema to the data frame. Now let's understand how to write CSV file to HDFS. So as I told you earlier, we can use the write method of data frame writer to write Spark data frame back to HDFS. Let's see that. So our data frame is cat df. Cat df dot show. If I just see top 3 records, this is my data frame. So I'm gonna say cat df dot write dot. We can also say write dot format dot save, and we can also say dot write dot CSV. So I'll simply be saying dot write dot CSV. Inside that I'll be providing the path. So what is my path? My path is slash user slash spark slash dataset. Inside dataset I'll be creating output. Inside output I'll be saying categories with header. This is my directory. Okay. Now it is done. we are able to save data in CSV format. So let's validate it. So there are different ways to validate the same. We can also copy this path, and what we can do is we can simply read the file here as well. Spark.read.csv, and providing the path, we should be able to see the data. We should be able to see the data here only. Okay, so that means the data has been saved successfully. The other thing that we can do is we can just go back to the different shell that we created, that we opened, and from the shell we can fire a command hdfs dfs-ls, providing the path where we have saved the file. We should be able to see the CSV file here. So if you can see here, this file has been created. Now if you copy the entire path, and we can also see the content as well. How can we see the content? hdfs dfs-tail, and providing the complete path of the CSV file, we should be able to see the data itself. So this is the data that we have in the CSV file. So we have successfully saved a CSV file using Spark SQL. Now, if you have noticed one thing here, our file doesn't contain a header. So how to save a file that contains a header? That's a question. So for that, what we can do is we can say cat df.write.option. Inside option, we have to provide header true. That means also save the header while saving the CSV file. So header true. Then now one more thing. Let's execute the command, and then we will see what happens, and provide the same path. Okay, the command failed. Why it failed? Because it says that analysis exception, this directory already exists. So you have to provide some more information to Spark whether to overwrite this directory or to append the data. For that, we have to specify the mode. Let's see how to specify the mode. In the same command, I'm gonna say dot mode, and my mode is, I have to specify save mode dot overwrite the data, and then finally dot CSV, and provide the path. Okay, so this time we are able to see, save the data because we have provided the save mode as overwrite. Let's validate it again. Copy the path. Again, in the similar way, we can say spark.read dot, because we have header this time. So I'll be saying dot option, inside option, header equals to true, and dot CSV, providing the path where we have saved the data, dot show, give me just top 5 records. So guys, this time we have column names as well, because we saved the file with header option equals true. Okay. Now let's talk about comparison. If you go to HDFS, and if you do a tail on top of this file, we can see that the file is plain text file. That means it doesn't contain any comparison. We can see the contents as it is. HDFS dfs-tail, and providing the path, we can see the content. But in the real certification exam, the questions problem statement will ask you to compress the data before saving it. So how can we do that? It's very easy. Go back to the shell. Let's say that we want to save the data, but in snappy comparison. How will we do that? So let's quickly do that. Let's copy the entire command and let's change it in the text editor. That will be easy for us. This is my command. I'm gonna say dot option dot mode dot CSV, and before that I'll say dot option compression and I want to save data using snappy compression and then .csv. So this time my data should be saved using snappy compression. Instead of providing two options here, we can also use options and provide a map. So just copy the data, copy this command, go back to the shell and paste it. Because we have already given save mode override, so it should be able to override the data. Now let's go back to HDFS. Let's do HDFS dfs-ls on top of the directory and see the file. This time, if you notice, we have got .csv.snappy extension because we have saved the data using snappy compression. Are we able to see the content of the file? Let's validate. HDFS dfs-tail and provide the path. This time we are not able to read the data. It's not plain because we have applied compression on top of it. So this is how we can apply compression on top of data before saving it. So guys, we are done with CSV file format. Thank you.